Yo guys, welcome to another video on overlanding journeys. This video I will talk about the car, the Jeep ZJ. This car is imported from the United States. It's built in 1997 and they made this car from 1993 till 1997. And they use for this car three types of engines. The first one is the 2.5 liter engine, second one the 4 liter engine, and the third one is the 5.2 liter engine. The one I have has the 4 liter inline engine, and this is a very reliable engine from Jeep. Nowadays people complain a lot about the reliability of the cars Jeep are making, but overall the older cars Jeep manufactured were quite good and had a good quality, and they used good components for this car. Now I want to dive into the pros and cons of this car. This will be completely based on my own opinion and my own experiences. Of course, things I will say, they will just count in general for this car, but yeah, keep in mind that I have a different experience with this car than other people. First, I want to start with the pros. For the year it's built like quite modern. It has AC, it has electric windows, and it has like multiple other electric components which were not usual for cars during those times. And besides that, it's I call this car the Jeep ZJ, but on the car it's actually called Grand Cherokee. And it's already in the name. It's a quite big car, so that's really good for overlanding because I can take a lot of stuff with me. And besides that, it's the engine which is in the car, as I already mentioned, it's just a reliable engine. People I see on the internet, people are still using this engine up to 500,000 kilometers, so that's like a crazy amount. And of course you have to do you have to do maintenance to get it there, but in general this is a good engine from Jeep. And the engine bay is also it's very spacious. So for me, when I got this car, it introduced me also to mechanical work and stuff, because it was so easy to do, because you can just see everything. When in a modern car you open it and you don't see anything, you just see plastic. But with this car I opened it and I saw like how everything worked. Of course you don't see everything, but you see certain things working, and you start asking. This is for me. I started asking questions like, why is this turning? And then doing more research and finding out like why things are working this way, and then what's the relation to other components in the car, and this really triggered my curiosity. So. And then when I eventually had to fix certain things, I already know like, it's working like this and it's working like this. And then when I had to work on it, it was quite easy because it was just accessible. The first pro was that it has like a lot of electric things, but I'm talking inside the car, but in the engine bay there are not so many electric parts, and this is also a big advantage for working on the car, because when it doesn't have that much electronics, it's like all the how it works is it's just all mechanical. So if one thing moves this way, another thing moves this way, for example. And this is when it works all mechanical, it's really easy to do a diagnosis in comparison to when it's just electric, because you cannot see electrical changes. You have to measure it, and it's just, for me, it's complicated. And another big pro is that it has a great off-road performance. So it has 4x4 mode, and you can also drive 4x4 part-time. This means that all the wheels are working separately from each other, and you also have 4x4 low, so that you're just driving in the first gear, and that you can drive in a really high RPM, so you can climb, for example, sand hills in a desert. And yeah, I'm not a really big fan of, I like doing it, but I don't want to drive too much off-road with this car, because just you will break a lot of things in a short amount of time. But I watched a lot of videos on YouTube where you can see like this car has a crazy off-road performance. And another thing is they made everything simple, and they also use like bulletproof components in my opinion. So because of this, it is simple, and they use like strong components, which are durable. And in my opinion, cars which are made in this era, they are just made to break down, because they just use cheap components, and when it breaks down, the dealer can do the maintenance and they can earn money again. But I feel like back in the days, they just made a car more to work for a longer period of time, if that makes sense for you. So these were like all the pros, and now we'll move on to the cons. The cons of this car, in my opinion, then I will start immediately with one thing which is bothering me. You have, this car is called the ZJ, and you also have an XJ. And the XJ it's exactly the same, but the outside look is different. I'll put now a picture in the screen that you see them next to each other. But the XJ has it has a lot. The market price for this car is way higher because of the timeless look, and people like the look more of this car than the car of the ZJ. And that's what for me. If I have to buy again a car, then maybe I would go for the XJ. But when I bought this ZJ, I didn't know about this. And another thing is, you will pay like 3 or 4 times more for an XJ than for a ZJ. So for me, 3 years ago, I was like, I just want an off-road car which is not too expensive, and then I came to this car. For example, an XJ is like 10,000-15,000 euros, and this car you can get for like 3,000-4,000 euros. But the funny thing is, they use like the exact same components for the XJ as for the ZJ. It's just like it's the only thing is the difference in look, and that the XJ has like a more timeless look than the ZJ, because a lot of people say the ZJ, it has like a bit of oldish kind of look. The second con is I don't know if this is for all the ZJs, but my ZJ has like, the steering is a bit loose. So for example, if I start steering to the right, it has like a delay. So I steer it and the car will move like not 1 second later, but it will move a bit later. So when you drive away with this car the first time, you really need to take this into account, and you really have to adapt to this. And of course, the third thing is the insanely high gas usage. It has like a fuel consumption. It drives like 1 to 5, 1 to 6 on average. If you drive on the highway, it's okay, but as soon as you start driving in 30 kilometers an hour, 50 kilometers an hour zones, and you have to brake a lot, you have to accelerate a lot, then it will just start using like a shitload of fuel. And this, I always underestimate it, and also the people who rent this car, they are also like, wow, fuck, how is this possible that it uses so much? And that's not the only thing, the fuel consumption. Another thing is in Holland you have something which is called road taxes, and when you own a car you have to pay a certain amount of money just to be able to drive it. And this price is on average for a car is like 50 euros a month. But for this car, because it's so big and it has a lot of fuel consumption and it's bad for the environment, it has you have to pay road taxes of 120 euros a month. And that's just to own the car and just to drive it on the road. And next to that you will also have insurance, but insurance is not that high because it's an old car, so the value of this car is not that high, so that's not a big issue. The biggest issues are like the fuel consumption and the road taxes. The technical downside of this car for me is really the coolant system, because I replaced almost every part of this coolant system. I did the water pump, the thermostat housing, and a lot of hoses I replaced, because it was just constantly it started leaking from another place. And I learned a lot from this, but I also learned that this car, the coolant system is just not that reliable, and you really have to keep an eye on it. And the last con is the trunk. So when I'm overlanding, you need to be in the trunk a lot, and this door opens like this. And a lot of overland cars, for example Land Rover, it opens like this. It's really a door, and when it's a door, you just move it out of the way, and you have like all the space. But when you're a bit taller and you open the trunk, I'm always like crouched under this trunk, and this is, for me, it's not ideal. But if you're a bit shorter, it's actually not a problem. But if it was a door, I would be able to put the spare tire on the back. But because now it's a door with gas springs, so it goes up, I cannot put the spare tire on there, because the gas springs will be too weak to push the door and the spare tire up. So these were all the cons. And in general, this car, for me, it's definitely worth it. And it has such a low market value, and you can buy it for literally like 3, 4 or 5k, and you will just have a fun car. You will definitely learn a lot, and if you build it like I did, you can have like great experiences overall, and like have a good time. And all the lessons, I think for me the main reason that I own it is all the lessons I've learned from it, and because it's not only when you learn some technical things about a car that you just know it for this car. I think it's much wider, and you learn also you learn to understand also other technical or mechanical things which are used, for example, in building homes, or how they work in just how things work in general. Because in a car, everything comes together. You have electrical systems, you have mechanical systems. It's not like, for example, only a pump. A car has a pump in it, but it's not a pump. it's like a package of all different kind of mechanical systems, and that's why I think everyone should learn things about a car, because then you start to understand also a lot of other technical things. Okay, this was it. I hope you learned a lot more about this car, and yeah, I see you in another video. Ciao.